This is another setup to give me a traffic violation. You see that light right there? That light is green. You see that nigga? He is not going. That light is green. Both sides over there are green. He is not going. I am waiting. I know it's a setup. So I'm confused, like, why are they not going? So then, you know, any person would just be like, hey. And I wait there for a little while too. I just back up, and then you can see a flash. As soon as I back up, the lights start turning different colors too, and then the cars start going, and then the flash goes off. You see over there, and then I basically get not a red light camera ticket for doing that. But it was like it wasn't gonna turn green until I did that. So either or, I was fucked unless I wanted to sit there for a good 10 to 15 minutes waiting for their type of shit. And this isn't a coincidence though, because if you go to this one as well, which is what they're doing is fucked up, and I hope they all die. You go over here. And then you're gonna see this though. They did it earlier today, and they tried it a second time. You see, so over here, I get here. Actually, in fact, let me get it back. So you're gonna see weird activities over here as well though. So then I get here off of the highway. I'm coming back from getting food. They know I got food, so they probably think I'm super hungry, and I'm gonna do some crazy illegal shit so I could get to eating my food a little bit faster so I could be fucking obese like everybody else. Anyway, so I come over here, and then the light's green. This light is red. This light turns green. That's because they're leading me to a trap. As soon as I get there, the light turns green, and then that light is already green to go straight. You might not see it clearly. By the time I get there, it's gonna be red though, but that light is green right now to go straight. And then it is now yellow. 2 cars go by in front of him, so me and this Audi move up. And I guess this nigga needed the money because it's an A3 with quad exhaust, and it's like, just buy a S3 at that point. Like, I don't see why you're running around with an A3 with quad exhaust. Just literally buy S3. It's not even that much more expensive than A3, but anyway, I digress. But he tries leading me into this stupid trap because the light turns green. The other 2 cars go that way, which indicate this light isn't going to turn green anytime. And then this guy goes through a fucking red light. They probably thought I'd be stupid, like, hey, this nigga went through a red light, and you know, he's a crazy guy, he's a crazy driver, and then I'm gonna do the same thing to prove I'm a crazy driver too. But it's like, no, nigga, like, I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna go through the fucking red light. So that's why earlier in the video they did that, because they couldn't get me the fucking first time. I was smarter to know that's a fucking red light. Why would I go through the red light? So they have to get me with a different way by making me wait a long time. But isn't it weird how both times I have to wait at red lights in a weird fashion? So then they got me like this, and they usually do shit like this when I go away and I don't go the normal route that I usually take, the normal back roads I'll usually take, or the normal highway route I'll usually take, and switch it up. So then they'll have a cop or some weird situation to be like, hey nigga, don't go there, you know, be a good little house nigga and fucking go the proper way you're supposed to go, or field nigga and go the proper way you're supposed to go and listen to the government. No, I will not. But that's the whole thing. They wanted to trap me with that stupid fucking shit. And the second time they got me, but then the first time they didn't. The first time I guess it was just too obvious, and the second time they had to do it more subtly. But you know, it is just what it is. Like, I can't really do anything about that, but then just pay the fine. But that both times is like, that's obviously a setup, right? It doesn't take a fucking, you know, smart ass nigga to know that's a fucking setup. Like, you could clearly see that's not a coincidence. That's this fucking setup. Both lights I get to, long ass wait times, and then other lights are already green, leading me towards the light. The second time with the Audi, the light was green when I was next to the Honda CRV. The light was green. I mean, the light was red, and as soon as I got there, it automatically turned green. Like, as if they wanted me to fucking be there, and they were fucking waiting for me. Literally, look, how many times does that happen, though? Like, really, how many times? And this happens to me literally all the fucking time. Seriously, literally all the fucking time. I get there and the light will turn automatically green. Sometimes before I even get there, I'll wait a second. They will purposely. They will hold lights. They will hold lights to be red. So I have to fucking sit there and wait for God knows how fucking long for the lights to fucking turn green, so then they could fucking get to me. It just makes no sense at all from like a proper standpoint. That's why I'm just so confused. I'm not really confused, because I know how evil the world is now, but it's like, I'm at a loss for words, because it's like, this is a waste of time and resources. Like, don't you got better things to be fucking doing than trying to bait niggas into red lights. It's like trying to bait me to drive a red light isn't gonna drive through a red light isn't gonna get you an Audi RS3. It's not going to. You're gonna still be stuck in the S3 with maybe a little bit more money. Though other cars will bait me to go buy speed cameras, to go buy bus cameras, get fat ass fines. They won't get in trouble, but only I will. Happens all the time. They'll get cars to set me up into getting into accidents. So then I get into accident. Sometimes you could tell the accident would have been fatal if I kept on fucking driving. They'll get niggas to fucking go here and then fucking drive in front of me. Seriously, like literally drive the fuck in front of me while driving pretty fucking fast on the highway. So then I will get into a fucking accident. Like, it's insane the lengths that these niggas will go through just so they could set me up. It's actually insane. I do not understand how we stand for this as a collective of people. It just seems a little silly. Very silly. Not even a quarter of the way silly. Like, just, it seems like stupid. I just can't understand, like, the logic and the reasoning behind this. Because, like, earlier on, over here, you're gonna see, you know, I'm driving. I'm not even gonna say the speed, but I'm driving, and you see him turn back over there. But first of all, he was in my lane, and he turned out of the middle lane that I was in, and then he turns. I'm driving. He's in the middle lane right now, and then he turns into the middle lane. But I guess he was like, you know, I'm driving fast. So then he goes over here. All these are murder attempts. They're not coincidences. These are murder attempts. But they're murder attempts and attempts to fuck up my finances. But they're murder attempts as well. That right there was a murder attempt. If I was stupid or was incompetent when it came to driving, I would have died. So that's why I'm like, I don't take this shit lightly. I don't take these people lightly. They're jokes, but I don't take them fucking lightly though. So that's why I'm like, the shit that they do is insanely fucking stupid. Oh, I heard one nigga say that some people are just born to lose, or born to just add to someone else's success. Where I'm like, you know, you can kind of say that's true. You think about it, you know, all of us are cog in machines so someone else could get richer. Even the most rebellious people, unless you live completely off-grid and fucking live like an old lifestyle, you're still, you know, a cog in the machine no matter how free you think you are. So, you know, it's true, but it's like, you're not necessarily winning either. We're all losing. Compared to what they're making you do to get the little bit of money that you're getting, it's like you're still losing. You realize that you're not winning, you're not doing anything crazy or substantial like to win. You realize you could have got everything they're making you fight for and degrade yourself for and fuck up your conscience, your soul, and like just your moral compass. You realize you could have probably got that, if not more, for free if this structure wasn't in place. You realize that, right? Like, you realize you're not winning any more than what you're winning probably even less than what you would be winning if this structure wasn't in place, right? You realize the structure is only to make a few people rich, and you're not one of them. You're not one of them. You really are not one of them. Like, it's insane to think and say something like you're really not one of them. Seriously. Like, I just don't understand, like, how you could think that you're winning in life. Like, you're not one of the people winning. Like, 2 cars in a townhouse isn't winning. That's what most average, decent, hardworking people have. So it's like, the type of thing you're explaining, you'd think you'd be living in a fucking mansion with a 10-car garage. You're not winning. You're not winning. That is, to me, that is not fucking winning. Like, if you're going to snake someone to win, the wins better be fucking big. If you're going to do some crazy shit like this to win, the wins better fucking be big. And the whole, you know, some people are just born to lose and, you know, make someone else a victory story. And it's like, they realize we're going to lose. It's like, I don't think you're winning either. This is one of those fights, though. And I think this is a perfect analogy to say. This fight right here that they're doing to targeted individuals, you know, for the people in the future, this analogy, what I'm trying to say is like, it's like a knife fight. The winner of the knife fight just gets to the, the luxury of bleeding out slowly and dying a few minutes later. It's like the loser dies straight away, because target individuals, I guess we got to be the losers of society. We're forced, even though we have winner traits. But the fucking, the winner gets to, maybe breathe a few more breaths, have a few more thoughts until they just drop on the floor and fucking die. That's literally this whole situation in this program. You get a few more years of life, a few more luxuries, but they're slowly taking it all away until you fucking die. You fucking dumbass. That's why I'm like, bro, it's just like, I just cringe, I guess, at the people who really think they're like getting ahead in life and winning. It's like, you see the way that they carry themselves, the cars that they drive, the houses, what they do and how they live their lives, the secrets that they hold from each other, and then they really think they're getting away just because they're treating one person like shit with something they really just shouldn't even be doing in the first place. I understand if I was some mortal fucking enemy of like the town and I did some like heinous fucked up shit, and they would treat me like this to like kill me or kick me out the town, then it'd make sense. But like, and that's how they try to put it at first, to like guilt trip you. But then after a while, you realize, well, then if I'm some heinous enemy of the town and I say, okay, whatever I do, I'm trying to fix it, and I want to buzz off to like a corner for peace, so I could be left alone for like a few hours, so I could like reflect on my mistakes or whatever the fuck I gotta reflect on to become a better person. Then you realize it's not about being a better person. It's not about you making some mistake that everybody hates you for. They just do it because they can, and they can get away with it, and they get money and different incentives for fucking doing it. So then that's why I came to the conclusion that it has nothing to do about good person this or bad person that. It's just they just do it to do it. Seriously, they just literally do it to do it. They get a little bit of money. Like, that's why I keep on saying, you realize if this structure wasn't in place, more people would probably have more shit. Like, there's only some people that are gonna really benefit from this, but most people are not gonna, be victors in this type of program. We're all just losers. It's just some are losing other than some are losing more than others. It's like, nigga, you're definitely far from first place, because let's even just say you think you're second place in this, right? Second place is just the first nigga to, lose. Like the nigga said, is only one victor. But second place is the first nigga to lose. It's like, y'all niggas aren't really winning either. If you see the shit that the government's doing to like random people, I know I'm not really even talking to people like that because I know they don't want to listen. They're hard headed, but just they're not really winning like how they think they are though. It's like, if you really see what's going on, it's like you're also losing. It's like, I understand getting your piece of the pie before it all goes to shit or whatever, or before it gets worse, but it's like, it's just gonna get worse. It's literally like trying to catch rain in a fucking bucket with holes is what they're trying to do. There's no sustainability in this type of environment at all. This type of, social structure. There's literally no type of sustainability. It's literally trying to catch rain with a fucking bucket with holes at the bottom of it. That's literally, if you can't trust family members, friends, backstabbers, you can't trust that the government's reading your thoughts. You can't trust if they're gonna go through your whole phone. You can't be nice to certain people. You like all that other crazy shit. Nigga, catching water with a bucket with fucking holes in the bottom. That's literally what everybody's fucking doing right now. And it's fucking stupid. And then they look at you when you're like, hey, maybe we should patch those holes up and fix them. Yeah, it may take work. It may be hard. But if we, get together and do something, maybe something might happen. But then they look at you like, nigga, fuck you. We're gonna put more holes in the bottom of your bucket so you can't catch anything. Instead of patching up our holes or patching up each other's holes and helping each other out, we're just gonna put more holes in the bottom of your bucket so we can laugh at you and feel better about ourselves for getting a little bit more, water in our bucket, when you probably would have had the same things or even, again, more things if this program just was not fucking in place in the first place. And this program is also robbing you and not just me. But people, I don't know if they're too stupid to understand that, or they understand that and they're just too scared to accept it as a truth or whatever the fuck. But it's very clear now that, that's kind of that's how I see it, at least. That's definitely how I see it. It's like, you're just wasting your time. There's nothing that's gonna, you're wasting your time. Really, seriously, it's a waste of time. Not everybody's gonna get fucking Bentleys from this program. Niggas ain't gonna go from a minimum wage job or waiting at a bus stop to, a fucking 5-story mansion. You're not gonna, get big business moves or booming business. It's not gonna happen. A few of them will. Most of them, many, a large majority,
90% will not. You'll just get small money here or there to either fuck people over, and then maybe some more might get a little bit of money here or there to mislead people. But it's not gonna be on some crazy shit where you're just like winning. You're not really winning, really. Like I said, the niggas laughing at me are also laughing at y'all niggas because they're like, y'all niggas are so fucking stupid to think that Aaron is really the problem. You kill me, another targeted individual is gonna arise. You kill them, another target, and then years pass by. You realize, oh shit, everything's worse now. Them niggas were kind of spitting, facts, but we didn't fucking listen, or we were too scared to do anything about it. But that's just on them. I just can't understand. Like, this is just my thoughts. I'm not really trying to like persuade people because it's fucking hopeless. But it's like, this is just my thoughts. Like a whole mental diary, whatever you want to call it, video diary. You know, they just do crazy shit. They do crazy shit. This would probably be looked back at one of like the worst times in human society ever. Like, seriously. I could see it now. At first, I thought we were okay, but the luxuries we have, are they really worth the sacrifices and the lack of community and trust within the community that we have to deal with on a daily basis? I don't think it is. Honestly, I understand maybe wanting to have a smartphone and a few of the comforts we have, but some of the other shit we have is just unnecessary as fuck. Like, fingerprint scanners are literally just to get you to fucking fingerprint scanners are literally to get you to just fucking basically put your fingerprint in a database so you don't have to go to jail before the cops are able to have your fingerprint scan. And I fell victim to this too, but we all literally just gave Big Brother our data because we thought there was a cool feature on the phone. I forgot this one YouTube video or whatever the fuck they say. Every time there's some cool new feature or thing that looks nice and shiny, cool, pretty, the niggas aren't giving it to you because they want to innovate and make your life easier. They're giving it to you because for some form of control over you is the sacrifice you're giving them. So you're paying $1,000 for a phone with a new feature. This is what I'm saying. We're all low-key kind of suckers and getting robbed. You're paying $1,000 for a phone with a new feature. You think, oh cool, fingerprints, it saves me a few seconds so I don't have to fucking type in numbers. And it probably has saved a few people's lives and helped them out a lot. But at the same time too, it's like, no, it's not gonna really be a big thing in the long run, because if you think about it, we're all paying a lot of money for that next phone to give more data, more fucking invasive, things to the government and Big Brother and fucking companies that really run America. It makes literally no sense. Like, this whole we always next newest thing that takes more from us, and we gotta give them more money to then take more from us, and then we're gonna sit over here and then get mad at Aaron for wanting to fucking go on walks and better his life so he doesn't become fucking obese again. It's just it makes no fucking sense. I don't fucking understand it at all. As it's like, we're smart as individuals, but as a collective we are fucking retarded, and that's honestly how I feel about it. There's just no organization at all within like our just collective, our social collective. Like, there's no organization at all. We are just so loose. And honestly, niggas will be like, oh, this saying used to go, united we stand, divided we fall. Nigga, is divided we stand, divided we'll fall. Like, there's no united anything. Like, it's just completely divided. We stand divided, we're gonna fall divided. Like, there's really no. It's just no. Like, I don't even know anymore. Like, I'm not sad, I'm not mad. I'm not done with life. I'm not gonna continue doing what I gotta do. But at the same time too, it's like, I give up on society. I give up on society. Live out of my way. I make a ton of money and dip off grid, have my shit, have the things I like doing, have a few, people, every once in a while dip back into town, have people around me I could trust, family, whatever. But I dip the fuck off. I would not be anywhere near this fucking mess. It's just a fucking mess, and that's all it's ever gonna be. It's just a fucking mess if we continue going on with how we, do things, because clearly we don't do things the right way. This is why we suffer the way we do. Because if we held ourselves higher, to higher standards and accountability, a lot of the things we do would be better, and the companies will be more scared of us than the other way around, than we are of them. It shouldn't be the other way. They should be the ones watching themselves to not say stupid shit because they could get destroyed and canceled, not us. They should be the ones, that have to fucking watch everything that they fucking do. It shouldn't be us. We should be able to speak the truth without having to have backlash and be utterly destroyed. And again, I know that's not how the way the world works, but what the fuck is freedom of speech? Is non-existent. And the next thing want to say guns away? What? And then people are for this. This is like just, oh god. Especially like, I'm not even trying to be mean to like the younger generation because I'm part of it, but it's like Gen Z is like, you see how organized gang stalking is, then mass shootings, and even older generations too. So then you see how organized these two things are. How does it compute in your mind that taking guns away is going to solve any problems? It's like, oh my god. Who the fuck do you think is doing these shootings? Most people don't give a fuck about going to shoot up a mass place. It's like, you don't think the government's behind this shit? You don't think that it's like, if people they used to have automatic fucking weapons that anybody could have back in the fucking day. You could just buy any high caliber whatever the fuck back in like the 30s, 40s, and 50s and all that shit. So then if you're telling me that those niggas were not shooting up schools, and back then they didn't even have classifications for all this mental illness, drugs, whatever the fuck, and them niggas were really suffering, and they weren't going up and shooting up schools and doing all that crazy shit. Obviously there's something that today in society we're lacking, and we're getting fed a fucking pacifier when we need food. When we need proper milk, we're getting a pacifier put in our mouths to fucking, have us be content when we need milk and sustenance. We're not getting it. So then this is why we're resorting to such crazy atrocities on a daily basis. And I'm not talking about mass shootings. I'm talking about how we treat each other and all the other crazy shit we do. That's why I'm like, no. And I understand it's always going to be bad to a certain extent, and cities are always more worse than the countryside. But at the same time, too, it shouldn't be like this. Like there were a time where cities were at least a little bit better than this, and it shouldn't be where the cities are this fucking horrible, because it is bad. And I'm just one person going through this to one aspect, and I'm getting all different aspects, but people who aren't even getting gang stalked that are doing the gang stalking to me are getting different aspects of what I'm going through on different levels. Maybe not the whole gang stalking thing, but different versions of what I'm going through. Even if it's just like one or two aspects of what I'm going through, there's other people that are going through this and can relate to me. So that's why I know I'm not the only one though that's going through this. You see the look on people's faces. They're suffering. If they're not doing weird shit to me, they're either suffering or they low-key know like this probably isn't the best thing to be doing as a society. There's no long-term sustainability in this type of behavior. This is where I keep on saying it's like the niggas talk about like they're the winners, but it's like okay, but then when shit gets worse for us and then we're all eating bug meat and most niggas is living paycheck to paycheck already, and then it's even more so, and it's going up to like the upper middle class and middle class, like even higher up to them, because maybe the lower middle class right now might be living paycheck to paycheck, and even a lot of niggas in the middle class, then it starts seeping into the upper middle class. It's like, what then? You're not necessarily winning because these niggas that are really pulling the strings don't have you in mind. Like, again, 2 cars and townhouses, they're laughing at you. They're laughing at you, laughing at me. Literally. Just laughing at you, laughing at me. That's really all it is, bro.